Well, is anybody still here? This was crazy, folks. And we have Crystal that will join us in just a second. Waitress, where's my lunch? I apologize profusely, folks, for this. This is thank you, Crystal, for bringing in lunch. This
And
was
my arm is going to be cold now because I put my bubbler on my arm twice up the stairs and back in here.
oh my gosh. Anybody here? So we still have people here. This is incredible. Crystal, we still have people. This was
Hey, Frank.
and go ahead and jump in and say hi to everybody, Crystal.
Hello, everyone.
This was hard because the software that I use, StreamYard, had deleted the stream and moved it to another place. And I frantically looked for YouTube and how to start the live stream on YouTube. Hey, Philippe, how are you doing? Q Exotic, Susie's here. Susie Q.
Hey,
So
Moon over in Miami.
go ahead. Laura, how are you doing? Frank, how are you doing? So this was really, really tricky in that I had to do a lot of workarounds from a technical aspect and finally figured it out by going back to StreamYard and jumping in. I have a pear for lunch. Is that all I have for lunch?
And a sandwich.
And a sandwich. What kind of sandwich? This is a ham. Looks like a ham and lettuce sandwich.
Actually,
it's a turkey. Oh my gosh. So you guys get to watch me eat lunch again.
With me as the special guest.
With Crystal as the special guest.
I
Absolutely.
will next time. Next time, Frank.
Next time you're going to make sure that I eat my waffles?
Yes.
So how is everybody today? What's in your plans later today? What's going on, folks? What are you up to? Put me in that, weird looking spaghetti. So I figured that I wouldn't change that thumbnail for every single show that we do. This is going to be awkward because usually I eat my lunch and I'm working on the computer and I have a napkin and
I'm sorry that I didn't.
No, that's okay. That's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take a bite. Leave a comment. What are you guys doing later today? We've got a lot planned. I have a lot planned. And Crystal, what do you?
Hi, Chelsea.
Go ahead and read.
Hi, Rachel, and hi, Dorothy. Well, for my lunch, I have some turkey, cheese strips, blackberries, and strawberries. Oh, I forgot.
Oh, that sounds good.
I forgot about one thing for my strawberries. I'll be right back up.
Thanks, Angie. Go ahead. Grab me a napkin, too, if you wouldn't mind, Crystal.
I'll be right back up, guys.
Rachel, I hope your arm is okay. I know that that's tricky to go through rotator.
Hi, Julie. And by the way, I forgot about the sugar for my strawberries.
Oh, no.
And
She forgot her sugar.
Yes, I forgot my sugar.
I had a rotator issue years and years ago. I was throwing a football, and I'm going to see if Crystal can turn off our fan too. That's distracting. I had an issue with my rotator throwing a football and tore it, and I couldn't get my arm up here. This was just about the height that I could get my arm. Well, I decided not to go through the rotator cuff surgery. This was probably about 15 years ago. I know I said I just had it, but I had the issue and I let it heal by itself, and it took a good year. After about 4 or 5 months, I could move it around, but it was still a lot of pain. But it took about a year before I gained full, rotation and strength back in it. Oh, that was a long year. If I had to do it over again in a heartbeat, I would have the surgery and get it done. Good to hear. Good to hear. I mean, it's so important. Why not eat the monarch eggs? There'd have to be like a bowl of monarch eggs, and you couldn't eat them by themselves, I'm sure. What's everybody else doing today? I just unboxed a Venus flytrap from Josh's Frogs. Oh, thank you, Crystal.
Yep.
Can you do me a favor? Can you turn off the fan?
I was going to do that, but I had my hands full.
A Venus flytrap from Josh's Frogs. That sounds really cool. We do a lot of reptile shows, and we see.
Close the door because.
Thank you.
What if the dog comes up?
What if the dog comes up?
Yeah. And Frank, that's the person that That's the animal that ate waffles.
Yeah, I don't know about eating monarch butterfly eggs. I'm dealing with a frozen shoulder at the moment. A frozen, like it's outside and it gets cold and it freezes. I don't know what frozen shoulder means. I'm sure that it's probably something like a rotator cuff. So we do. Again, squirrels. I was off on another path. So we do a lot of reptile shows, and I see tables with the carnivorous plants on them, and I've always thought I should get into that. I kept one or two a long time ago. I kept a big pitcher plant for probably about 2 years, and it expanded. By the end, it was probably, oh my gosh, it was probably 2 feet by 2 feet, and was growing really well. And I didn't do anything special like feed mealworms and crickets to it. I just let it go and gave it a little tiny bit of fertilizer per the instructions, and it did really well. Go ahead.
Just do something. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Read this.
Okay.
It's right there.
Waffles the Elf will be reviving this Halloween, all stitches back together. Oh, I don't know about that. So it sounds like Waffles made a quick zombie recovery and appearance at Frank's house because he knows about Waffles, the Christmas elf. Yeah.
I think I know where Waffle is.
Tell me where Waffles is.
Waffles is, are you ready?
Where?
In heaven, but whenever it's the 12 Supreme Days of Christmas, it'll be like this. Hello, I'm back.
Should we do the who says that? I'm back. Is that Arnold? No, that's Arnold. Arnold goes, I'll be back.
Yeah.
To the chopper. That's Arnold, right?
I don't know. He just got milk for his drink.
Movie references on Crystal are lost unless it's frozen. Train Your Dragon.
Yes.
Fish Fame, how are you doing? Thanks for joining in. We had some pretty... I'm going to turn off my notifications here, folks.
Are you ready?
My sandwich is tasty. It's, what is it, turkey and lettuce and mayonnaise and regular bread? So Susie Q says she's doing water changes. How many tanks are you doing, Susie? I'm sure a lot. So Fish, Frank, you have been promoting my Supreme Aquaria channel forever, and I have to apologize to everybody. It was a big challenge, and to start that up, and I really look forward to doing it. I found that doing videos and photography in the tanks that I set up here was almost impossible, and they never turned out like I had hoped. After probably about 100 videos, seriously, folks, after 100 videos, I found maybe 2 videos that really worked for me. That was hard for me. So what I've decided to do, because some of the fish that I bought several years ago were getting old, thank you, Frank, and had either died off, killifish, live bears, or were pretty much at their peak. I actually contacted a place, and they took all of my fish for me. I had a lot of babies growing out. I had not much of anything. I think I kept maybe 2 or 3 different species of maybe a pair of older killifish. I kept a live bear. I'm completely redoing my tanks, and I'm starting over. So this is not a tomorrow, this weekend kind of project. This is probably an October-ish project. It might be even January, because I want to do it right, and I want to do a couple of things different. So we're going to redo the fish tanks and do it the right way, and we will be producing videos.
Geckos.
It just did not work out the way I had planned it. I love the fish, and I love some of the animals that I was keeping. The pistos were breeding, the live bears, the rarer bettas that I had were all doing really, really well. Live bears were really breeding well, but it's just time for a change. Susie Q got a pair of discus, and I'm loving them. What kind of discus, and where did you get them, Susie Q? We worked with discus a long time ago, like 120 years ago when I was keeping fish. It seems like I'm that old, right, Crystal?
No, you're not.
I'm not.
You
No.
are 64.
So am I old or am I very old?
Old.
I'm pretty old.
Mm,
Is Grandma old?
just old and no, Grandma's a young grandma for me.
Grandma's a young grandma, and I'm an old grandpa.
No. Can I tell you what happened?
You can tell me what happened. What happened?
At my scalp appointment, this this person that took us into the room, the green 10 room.
Yes. My
That
mouth
is
was
not-
full, so you have to talk.
So she said she was 43 and she's a grandma.
Wow.
That was a very young girl.
I'm 43 and I'm a grandpa.
Mm-mm.
Whoops. Susie says a beautiful blue and then a bright orange one. I got it from fellow aquarium society members. Very cool. Did you get adults? Are they breeding size?
No, he is 63.
1642. What's my secret? I was going to say the typical rock and roll, blank, and rock and roll, but I'm not going to say that.
Say your birthday year, please.
What's that? My secret is the family around me keeps me looking young and
No.
beautiful.
No. Look, guys, gray hair.
Wow, Rachel, 36. That's pretty young. Excuse me. Waffles keeps my girlish youth complexion.
No, it's gray hairs.
It's
The gray hair.
So I don't look that youthful.
Mhm.
So my story with discus, I purchased discus from Jack Wally, had them shipped in. I think we got 10 of them or 12 of them. I can't remember. Anyways, I put them in a 125, let them grow up, and we got them at a quarter size. Grew up, took about 2 years, or ready to give up on them. And this is the olden days. Back in the good old days, this was the olden days where I had the under the gravel filter Susie Q. You remember those? Maybe some people still use them. But they had the lift tubes and feeding beef heart and all kinds of good stuff to the discus. And they did really, really well and plumped up, but they wouldn't breed. After about a year and a half, I was like, they're not going to breed. They're not going to breed. 2 years, and I was talking to people, do you want my discus? Because I'm just, lights just went on for the fish. So talking to people, but I came down one day downstairs, and here are 3 pair guarding eggs on 3 separate lift tubes and just challenging each other. It was just so cool to see. But
Look at Illinois Valley geckos.
but guys, gray hair kills me.
That's my famous line now.
That's your famous line?
If you guys ask me to do it.
Right. Since I keep reptiles, if I shed, I just get younger and younger.
No, you don't. By the way.
What is that? What is that? Gosh.
What?
Is it Matt? It's not Matt Damon. No, it's Brad Pitt. The incredible story of whatever, where he's born old and he gets younger through his life. He gets young. Yes, Incredible Mr. Buttons. I think. I don't know. Somebody help me with that.
By the way, guess what? They can. Are you ready? If they ask me for my famous line, I will say, "Look, guys, gray hair."
Gray hair.
That's my famous line.
What was I going to say? I hate those. Jen says I hate those. Is that
Benjamin.
discus? You hate Benjamin Buttons. Thank you. Well done. That would have bothered me all day. Very good. Frank says, Wally, that's not how you wear your cap. You need to turn it slightly to be a cool dude. So if you don't know, my other white hat has been retired. A good friend showed up at the door about a week ago and said, hey, I have this box. Now, she lives on the south side. If we were in Milwaukee, it would be the south side, but we're west. She lives probably about a half hour or more south of us. She says, this box was delivered, and written on the box is delivered to the wrong address. So I knew something was fishy
And
at that point. So
then she came up with this.
she delivers the box. She delivers the box. It says, Wally, this was delivered to my house. And I kind of gave her that look like, yeah, right, Jan. And I opened it up, and sure enough, there was this new hat. So the old one is gone.
The new one is
And the new one is
throwaway.
gone. And Frank says I should turn it so I look pretty cool. I can't look cool. Yo, what's up?
That's not how he's saying it.
Don't you pull off my hat.
Can I just demonstrate real quick?
No.
Okay, fine. Let me move it on your
Okay.
head. Like this.
Is that how you do it? Okay, so
Yeah.
Crystal obviously is a lot cooler than Grandpa, so we'll go with this.
Can I tell
So
you
it has
why?
some mesh, so everybody's going to see my bald head anyways. I don't care.
Because are you ready?
Angie, you know Jan, right? Yes, go ahead. Yes.
I was born in 2011. That's my birth year. That's the
Gotcha.
secret I've been keeping from all of you because I didn't want you to guess my age.
We know your ages.
Well, I'm gonna be 12 on New Year's Eve.
Crystal, you're 12 going on 28.
Mm-mm.
Angie says, I do know Jan. Jan is the nicest person. Angie, she's almost as nice as you. I want to find this comment. Hold on just a second, Crystal. So Philippe says, my fasciata should hatch any day, been incubating for 43 days. Did you get your fasciatus from us? And if you didn't, that's cool. That's cool. The hardest thing that I have in this hobby, the hardest thing to do is to match names. So I do reptile shows, and somebody will come up and say, hi, how are you doing? My name's Jim. Hey, Jim, how are you doing? And we'll start talking, and he'll go, yeah, I messaged you on Pachydeculus fasciatus about 3 months ago.
Thank you, Rachel.
And we did, we talk a little bit, and he goes, I sent you this message. And I'm like, I don't have any idea who. So in my mind, I'm trying to get the gears to connect and everything. And he goes, oh, I'm Philippe K on YouTube, or I'm Philippe K on Instagram. So being active on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and YouTube and Snapchat. And I'm not on Snapchat. My FaceTime or whatever that was called. So being on multiple platforms, I'm not on Discord yet. I'm not on Discord. It's hard to identify somebody like Frank the Tank, who's a joke buffer on Facebook. And that's not his real name, is it? We're not going to talk about that.
Wait,
so,
can I just ask him the question?
Go ahead.
Please. We've talked about this question in the car. Frank, why are you called Joke Buffer on Facebook and Frank the Tank on YouTube?
So
That's
we were
the
talking about
I
that.
really wanted to ask you for a long time.
We were talking about that in the car. So Frank, we were talking about that in the car. About you.
Flip. Okay. Just got him.
What should I go back to? You don't look a day over 3.
Me?
Yeah, I guess.
I am. Thank you so much, guys.
Local. Got it. So there's the gears right there, Philippe. All the gears connected. I know you. I think you drove like an hour from south of us, more than an hour if I remember. This hat has to go back. I think you drove like an hour and a half or so to come up to pick up a male fasciatus. That is so cool that you got eggs and everything's working out. Folks, that's what makes it happen for me, is when we make these connections and we get the right animals in the right person's hand and everything works out.
Do you want me to call the dog?
No, I don't want you to call the dog.
Please.
Frank says she boils Roman numerals and wraps.
No. I can't eat ramen noodles anymore because
not even with a perm is mine ever that cute. Mine's that cute. If I took off my hat, you'd say, "Oh, Wally, your hair is so cute." What?
Can I please call up the dog?
No, you may not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want all that. I don't want to drop the whole live stream because of that.
Hey,
So Philippe,
they'll probably love it.
that is pretty cool that you got some eggs there, and good luck with incubation. If you have any questions, let me know. Whoops. Major just came back. Major, I explained this, but I'll explain just really super quick. Had issues with the software that I use, StreamYard. Couldn't find the live stream, so I went into YouTube. I tried to struggle, and I'll figure this out now later after the show on how to start the live stream from YouTube. I couldn't figure that out. I was more panicked than anything, searching through everything. Went back to StreamYard. Long story short, I found the live stream in StreamYard. StreamYard is the tool that we use to do the live streams because it allows the chatting and all kinds of other things. So anyways, I found it. It was way somewhere buried. I tell you folks, I don't know how I found it, but went ahead and clicked and joined the link or joined the live stream. So again, greatly apologize for being so late. Okay, here we go. The origin of Frank Buffer was me trying to make a joke, but my brain was buffering, trying to come up with one. That's me. So I should be called Joke Buffer 2, maybe, because I do that all the time.
Wait.
Major says, I just realized there was a stream today. Thanks for joining. Thank you very much. And again, thank you everyone for your patience.
But
we did.
What about
it's like let's start a live stream. Let's tell Major about the live stream, and let's not do one for like 15 minutes. He'll show up and nobody will be there, and then he'll leave, and then we'll start it. Let's do that. Hey, Major, we're starting the live stream. Jump in, and nobody's there. No, that's not how it went.
Hey Frank.
Thank you very much.
Hey Frank.
Hope you understand what happened. Like Spike, do that like Spike. We have 21 people watching, so hopefully we have like 48 likes. Go ahead, Crystal. Go ahead, Crystal, talk, and I'm going to take a bite, and everybody can watch Wally eat and get mayonnaise all over him, or mayonnaise all over his beard.
Yeah. And Frank, why did you have Frank Dug the Tank on YouTube?
Oh.
You haven't spelled that out.
Andrew, there's always time to talk behind my back, even when the show's not going.
Why did you say that, Frank? That's mean. Major, we waited until you left.
I'm not sure, and I apologize. In my mind, I make all these connections with Illinois Valley geckos, but I'm not sure, and I apologize. Is it Caroline or Carolyn? I should know stuff like that. But
hi,
thank you for watching during work hours. Aquaballs.
And Illinois Valley Ball geckos, he is eating a lettuce, turkey, and mayo sandwich from Grandpa.
I'm rudely eating because I'm kind of wiping my mouth and doing all kinds of things. Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions? Yeah, inquiring minds, Frank. Why is it Frank the Tank on YouTube? What's up with that? What's up with? Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I've got to do it the right way. Is that right, Crystal? What's up with that? Yo.
Say it again.
Yo, what's up with that? Okay. Carol Lynn, not Caroline. Carol Lynn. So from this point on, because I'll confuse in my brain, I will be calling you Caroline. I do that. I confuse it when it's two different things. No, I won't. I'll refer to you as properly as I possibly can as Carolyn. You see?
Hey.
I'm done.
By the way, Frank.
Let me go back to this. Go ahead, Crystal.
Spell the T for YouTube. Why is it Frank Dug Tank?
Can you read that?
Sure. My springtails are thriving. My cultures are thriving on the Supreme Isopod channel. Thanks, Wally. I have the unboxing video done. Just working on the voiceover. It'll be a couple more days. There you go. I read it.
Good job. So Timeless Droid probably has the same issues that I do with videos. It's that you have the thoughts, you have the ideas, you have some pictures, you have to do a video, put the voice in, come up with other details, throw it all together. So yesterday I did a video. I've got to tell this story really quick, and then I'm going to come back with, thank you very much for that comment.
Oh,
Hold on just a second, Crystal. Let me finish my story just real super quick. Hipster Wally. So yesterday I did the video. It took probably about a half hour to film, and a couple of funny points, and there's going to be bloopers. It's coming out later today. Yes, a live stream and a video. You have to watch me twice today. Did the video, and went to bed, thought about different things, 11 o'clock, TikTok, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning, jumped back online, answered. I had a ton of PMs, and you know why I had a lot of private messages on Facebook. Frank, we're going to be opening a crested gecko egg in just a second. So now it's like 1 o'clock, 2 in the morning, so I can't sleep. I started editing the video, and at about 6 o'clock I finished and sat in this chair and took about an hour nap. Major says, how much Supreme Springtail chow comes with each one order? I think it's like 2 ounces in the bag. It's enough to feed a lot of springtails for a long time, unless you have like pans and pans and pans of springtails. Yeah,
you could check.
I think it's 2 ounces. It's in the 2 ounce bag and it's filled. So
Hey, Major.
I don't think I ever measured
Major's
it. We have measured the Supreme Isopod chow to 2 ounces to make sure there's 2 ounces in there because that's what we say. But I think it's in the same bag, same weight. Love the questions. Throw the questions my way. Why is my new gecko not catching the crickets properly? No glossy eyes, 4 months old. So here's the thing I'm challenged with questions all the time. And it's not usually, it's all, I tell you folks, it's all day long. I get questions like this, and I love questions. But here's the thing. If you ask questions about a gecko, let me know the gecko type. Is it a crested? Is it a leopard? And Julie, you and I have spoken before, so I think it's a leopard gecko. So you're talking about crickets. So there's a lot, and this is an easier question to handle because I know more about, this, but a lot of times I get my gecko stopped eating. What should I do? So I don't know the gecko. I don't know temperatures. I don't know if there's tank mates. There could be a gazillion different reasons. And it's, so then I have to go through the process to get more details. But anyways, Julie, it's probably because leopard geckos, and again, correct me if I'm wrong if it's not a leopard gecko, but leopard geckos have 4 brain cells. Crested geckos only have 2. So crested geckos catch crickets far less than leopard geckos. So leopard geckos, I'm actually watched the video that I'll put out today because I'm going to do a video on this tank right here, and I'm not going to.
The mornings?
No, not the mornings. The other one, the big tank. Don't say anything. Don't.
The Australians?
You're done. Leave.
No.
Finish your lunch. Are you done with your lunch? Leave.
No.
So
then I'll call up the dog.
So
I'm gonna call up the dog, guys.
No dogs.
Aww.
So with them, watch that video because you'll actually see it there. They sometimes will strike a couple of times without catching the bugs. That's why we love always having a feeder dish of something in the enclosure with the crickets. They should catch the crickets, but sometimes their feeding response and their 2 or 3 or 4 brain cells don't match up and they miss. As long as they're eating, that's a good thing. I'm going back to my point about mealworms and dubias. They seem to hit and catch mealworms and dubias a little bit easier than crickets. Hope that answered your question. Question from Droth. And if I'm missing any questions, let me know. Do you want to read this one while I take a bite?
Wait, I can.
Let's keep that question up so that we can ask that question.
Q. I'm thinking of picking up some duckies at a local expo, but their tank hasn't come in yet. Would it be too stressful for them in a temporarily enclosure for a week or so until the new one gets in here. I think it won't be stressful for them.
For a week, it would be.
Yeah.
For a day or two while you sup, I strongly suggest if you're getting something, especially something as high level as duckies, I strongly suggest that, and I'm going to get to more comments in just a second here, folks. Thank you very much for your questions. This is a great question. This is a great question. I strongly suggest, and I've done a couple of videos on this, set up your enclosures beforehand. Even if it's a 6-quart, even if it's a $1 cheap 6-quart dirt sphagnum moss, cork bark, and leaves. Set it up a month before. I have 2 or 3 6-quarts running all the time that are empty with springtails in them, just in case. So that whole, watch the table, don't shake it. So you're doing a great job.
Can I just?
Let me finish the story just real quick, okay? So what I do is I'll set up an enclosure and let the bioactive kind of catch up to the enclosure, and I'll actually feed the springtails in there. Now, and I'll have that set up so that if I get a culture of isopods, I can put them in there and they just take off right away. It saves like a month to 2 months of them getting established. If you don't have that, if you can, go out and buy a 6-quart right now, today, for $1 and set it up that way and put it in the 6-quart. I strongly suggest not to keep them in that container that they come in for a week. We actually did this once, and I'll you know me, I'll admit my mistakes just as readily as I can so that other people don't make the same mistakes. This was a couple of years ago. We did a show on Sunday, so we packed Sunday, isopods, came home. Oh, we didn't sell them. Well, we have shipments Monday. Let's just go ahead and ship them out Monday. Shipped them out Monday, didn't repack them, and I think we did catch them Saturday night. If I think about it, Saturday night, Sunday show, Monday shipments. So now they're in the box Monday, obviously, Tuesday and Wednesday, and sometimes even Thursday. So I think that we shipped out about 10 different isopods, and I think that 3 or 4 of them arrived DOA, which for a seller, for a keeper, is horrendous news. So we replaced all those isopods, obviously, but we made a point to never, ever, ever, ever come home from a show and assume that we can ship out those isopods. We always put them back in their enclosures, and then what we'll actually do is then wait and pack up for the next shipment Monday and then put them back in. So that's just something that we do now. I hope that answers your question. So don't keep them in that same enclosure. Put them in another one.
By the way, I'm just pointing to the big tank.
Yeah.
Right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then, do you want me to read this one then?
Sure.
And can I try to answer it?
You can try to answer it, sure.
Hey, Wally, I have a guest joy coming tomorrow with my 18-quart tubs deep and 4 vents in them. 11/8/8 inches, 2 on opposing sides and 2 on front. Dry side, will this be okay to give them enough airflow? Yes, it will.
There you
Sandra.
go. I think it will too. I like the cross ventilation a whole lot. 18-quart tub, perfect. Everything 1 1/8 inch deep. I got you now. I think that's great. Gastros, I actually found Gastroys not needing the extra depth of substrate like I would give rubber duckies. I think that's perfect. Just what I would do is not keep them as dry as like clowns or zebras, but don't keep them as wet as you would obviously dwarf whites or something like that.
Well.
Thank you, Julie. Let me catch up on messages just real quick here, okay?
Okay, but Major.
Leopard. I thought so. Yeah.
Major.
You can read this one.
Question. If you had infinity time, is there anything that you would do with your various pets?
Yes.
Ooh.
What a outstanding
I already
question.
know what I
Go ahead. What would
with
you do?
mine. So for my geckos that I own, including Harry Potter and Little Lovegood, I changed their names. I changed their names once. I'm not changing them anymore. And Ginny and Crystal, frogbutt gecko that you never see anymore. Hello.
So what would you do with infinite time, Crystal?
With my pets,
Mm-hmm.
I would spend a lot of. I would never touch Luna by her sides because she might snap at me. But Harry, he's the gentle one, and I would hold Harry for a little bit. But Jenny, no holding her. Don't hold her over the tub because sometimes you don't know what that baby can do. Like jump out of the container, and fall on the floor. And that's what she did one day with me and Grandma and Grandpa when we were down
She
in the
didn't fall
basement.
on the floor.
She did.
No. So well, she fell on the carpet. Okay,
No.
should I go ahead and answer the question? What I would do?
Sure.
Okay.
And I would give 0 some kisses and pets.
Infinite time gives 0 kisses and petting. So with my infinite time, I would take, if I had more time, if I had 48 hours a day, I would still be behind, it seems like every single minute of the day. If I had infinite time, though, I would take more pictures of the geckos and I would do more kind of time lapse. Take a picture at birth, take a picture at a week or 2, a month, 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, and just show that progression. I feel like I do a terrible job of showing off my animals. Period. Unless it's something weird that nobody knows about, nobody cares about. It's weirdo Bavaye geckos. But I would take more pictures of, especially the leopards and the crested geckos, to show the changing of the animals over time.
Oh.
It's good that he's getting it, or he or she is getting it. That's cool.
Good
Joanne, thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate that.
We will
make sure that you subscribe.
We love new subscribers every time. And
don't
ready?
Say anything. Immediately say it. I miss it.
What is that from, guys?
I think from probably
I am here
her name.
feeding things alone.
Oh, very cool. I do that all the time. I'll do a live stream like Moon over Miami, and I'll listen. But I'll be doing a ton of other things and not really typing that much. Thank you very much, Angie. Okay, here's a question. My clay's springtail culture only takes a small pinch a week, so it's enough Supreme Isopod chow for a long time. Yeah, they don't take a whole lot. What I'll actually do with isopods is, this is a secret. This is a Supreme Gecko springtail secret. So this is what you've been waiting for the whole show, folks. And we're running a little bit long.
Some Supreme Gecko secrets.
So what I'll do with my springtails is I'll keep them. You've probably seen my short where I keep them over sphagnum moss and not clay or charcoal or anything like that. Sphagnum moss, piece of cardboard or piece of cork bark, and then that's how I harvest them. What's that?
What if Grandma's watching this?
What if Grandma's watching this? She knows the secret. So I'll feed flake food to them like every third or fourth, probably every fourth feeding. But we do the Supreme springtail chow. But we'll also put a little tiny piece of something soft, like a pickle or a zucchini or something like that, a squash, or a pumpkin. We'll put a piece in there too, and they just go nuts over it. So that's my secret. I feed the Supreme springtail chow, and I feed the vegetables to them too, even by themselves. Sure.
Do you feed the springtails in there? I didn't catch that part. Yes, we do.
There you go. We feed.
And Frank, thank you for saying hit that like button.
There you go.
Oh.
Okay. Droth says, thanks. I'll wait till the show next month to get them done. Sounds good. Is that the springtails?
Hey, Uncle Chris. How are you?
Hope you're still here. I know that you're probably eating lunch. She would hang out with Cassidy. That's what she would. yes, if she had infinite time, she would hang out more with
Cassidy.
Cassidy, your daughter.
Than ever. My cousin Cassidy.
More pictures would be cool. And I feel very guilty that I don't take more pictures of the animals. I do
Hey.
all these shorts and I do the videos and everything. But I tell you, folks, there's probably a dozen, maybe a couple dozen animals downstairs that you haven't seen yet, simply because I don't have the time to set up and do, the necessary setup for some of the
Hey,
animals.
Blake.
Go ahead, read this one. And I'm going to take like the last bite.
Is a 5-quart container too small for an isopod starter tub? I don't think so.
Good answer. You need to elaborate a little bit while Grandpa chews.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the next.
We're going to hold on to that question for just a second, Crystal, because I'm going to say my very first Hoffman Segai. You know how big Hoffman Segai are? Well, maybe they're not that big. They're this big.
Like they're probably
they're as big as your pinky, probably.
Yeah, probably as big as
my very first culture of Hoffman Segai went into a 6-quart sphagnum moss, cork bark, lots of hiding places. I actually used egg carton, cardboard egg cartons, the egg flats. I put in 4, 5, or 6 pieces in there, and that's where the females laid their eggs, had their babies, and by like 4 or 5 months, I had probably about 40 or 50 Hoffman Segai in that 6-quart, and I had to start divvying them up into 15 quarts.
Can I tell them?
Sure.
Can I tell them what happened about?
Right on, Major.
Marco the gargoyle gecko that we never show on camera.
Sure, go ahead.
So Marco the gargoyle that never comes in these videos with us.
Go ahead.
He's not a boy. Actually, I should say she's not a boy.
Marco,
she's
who you named Marco because you thought he was a boy, wasn't?
Yes,
and
she was not a boy, and she was a girl, and I named her Star after her sister that passed away after a couple weeks.
No, Steve-O, this is not. Just make sure that you see this clearly. This is neither a St. Louis Blues nor Detroit Red Wings emblem. You'll have to watch the earlier part of the show to find out what happened to my hat.
Love you too, Uncle Chris.
Bye-bye. It is hard. Getting good quality pictures is hard. And Brian Butler from Altitude Exotics says, "Oh, it's the most fun thing
with me.
It's the most fun thing that I like doing with the geckos. I like taking pictures. For me, it's like going through the worst nightmare because they're jumping, and then it's like, okay, set up and okay, don't move for 2 seconds and 1, 2, and it's jump. So always hard.
I made a sandwich too.
Excuse me. I love seeing the mothers protect the babies. If you don't know already, Porcelio Hoffman Segai is the king of the isopods. Don't argue with me that they are the king of the isopods.
Can I read this one?
Yeah.
Or was that something else? I always get them confused.
Titans, right on. You are spot on.
Okay.
I do have one eye, and there's another thing. If I had more time, I would start doing more videos on isopods and showing off some of the isopods that we really haven't shown off.
Oh,
sorry,
hi,
folks.
Christian L.
Hi, Christian L. Thanks for joining us. About to have some lunch myself, so thought I'd stop in. That's what we're here for. We're not here. We're here to cough. We're not here to talk isopods or geckos. We're just here to eat lunch and watch Wally kind of make a fool of himself eating a sandwich.
And do you want me to answer some more questions?
You do it. We're going to be here for another couple of minutes, and then we're going to kind of kick out and let you finish your lunch.
I found some African Western seed pods. They seem fun. Has anyone used them before? No, we haven't.
That's American, but no, we have not. Did you do a video, Steve-O, on them? If you have not seen, my Isopods and More with me does great, excuse me, herp videos. I'm kind of going to call them herp videos because you're out in the wild, you're You're looking at animals, you're looking at isopods, and they're just fantastic. Do a video on that.
Can I show this one?
Go ahead with aquaballs.
Some need detailed information video on micro geckos, housing, breeding, feeding, plays. And wait a sec.
Okay, I'm going to answer that just real quick. I did a whole I actually did 2 or 3 presentations on micro mealworms to different groups, herp groups, clubs. Have a whole presentation, but it's like 10 years old. That's when I was keeping probably about 20 different, maybe more, 20 different species. Watch shaking. And that's when I was keeping a lot of micros. Now I'm keeping probably 2 or 3 or 4. So it's harder to kind of get, videos on them. If you have any questions specifically, send me a message. I'll tell you real quick, two keys to micro geckos is number 1, unscapable enclosures. Number 2, feed every day. Repeat that, folks. Repeat it right now. Escapable enclosures and feed them every day. Go ahead.
Can I answer Angie's question? So, Crystal, when you take over Supreme Gecko, will you be breeding snakes as well? If Grandma lets me, she's terrified of them. But I will fire her when I take over.
Wow.
And
Wow.
And for me, I will be breeding snakes as well after I fire my grandmother from the business.
Am I ever going to get fired?
Yes, you are. I'm the
Am I going to get fired before I officially retire or officially quit? Maybe you can't fire me. I quit. I'm walking out of this place.
Oh, really?
Take this job and shove it.
Yes, I can do that.
All right.
And then I'll breed snakes as well.
Okay. Let me answer this question.
Okay.
How do you get permits for various isopods after the changes? We just did the video 3 or 4 weeks ago. Carlos also just today answered my take a look at the spreadsheet to make sure that I have everything correct. And he offered some changes. If you haven't seen it, we did a live stream, an hour and a half, I think, or more, with Carlos Blanco from APIS. And he went over all of the questions that you guys had on isopods and permits. And I put together a spreadsheet, and I'll publish that spreadsheet as soon as I get 10 minutes to update it and put it out there for everybody. Lots of great questions, lots of great answers from Carlos on the permit. So make sure that you check that out. Hope that answers your question.
And hello, everyone that's watching. We have 26 views.
I'm just kind of going through the questions real quick here. It goes down. Well, I'm just navigating to that at this point, to be honest.
Okay, so.
Absolutely.
Can I answer some questions?
Yeah.
Okay,
let me just go through this real quick. Johnny Paycheck, there you go.
Thank you for saying that, Major WD.
What does your day-to-day look like on average? I'm going to answer this last question. Kasharon? I'm going to answer this last question, and we're going to finish our lunch. I've got a pear here to eat, and nobody wants to see me eat the pear.
I do.
Nick, how are you doing? Glad you joined us with like 49 seconds left in the show.
Oh.
It's always a great pleasure and honor to have you join the show. Kashara says, what's your day-to-day look like on average when you're breeding geckos and isopods? It's 24 and a half hours of working on stuff.
Hey, Corey.
Excuse me. Generally, it's get up in the morning, eat breakfast, check messages, answer messages around 6:30, 7 o'clock-ish. 8 o'clock, I go downstairs because my alarm goes off. 8 o'clock, I'm downstairs checking for babies, putting babies away, doing my I've got to do this right away kind of stuff on geckos. And then I come back upstairs, and for the next probably 2 or 3 hours, I'm on social media. I'm preparing videos. I'm inbox. I'm doing research. I'm doing all kinds of things. Then at about noon, I break lunch, half hour, 25 minutes of nap time. Blah, 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 blah. And
Yeah,
then
that's you.
that's
for
me.
sure.
And then around
Whenever-
12:30 or 1 o'clock, I'm back downstairs. I'm probably doing geckos at that time for probably 2 or 3 hours. If we have a big cleaning, if we have a big feeding that day, it's more like 4 or 5 hours. No day really, other than very special projects, am I ever downstairs more than like 4 or 5 hours ish at the most. But then back upstairs and at night, I'm either doing videos or shorts or short videos. I'm not doing my shorts, folks. I'm trying to watch videos as much as
I
possible,
think
but
you are.
I'm so behind on watching everybody else's videos. The Mantis Garden, I love your videos. I wish I could watch more of them. My Isopods and more, I've missed all of your videos in the last 2 weeks. That's pretty much my day-to-day generally. Saturdays and Sundays are obviously big projects or reptile shows. Okay.
Like for me, for my day, it's usually
Corey, thanks for joining in.
get up, go
Next
downstairs.
Isopod video, I don't even know. I have like 20 different gecko-ish videos in my mind and in the works right now. I keep saying it every single week. Okay, this week I have to do an Isopod video, but the geckos are going so crazy right now. I'll get to it. I promise. Keep bugging me, please. Mantis Garden, keep bugging me and just pound it in me and saying, you need to do an Isopod video and I'll get to it. I promise. I promise. Okay.
Let's go. Do it. Because
You sing and I'll dance.
no, I'm not singing. Because
Sing
Wait a
the
second.
Romeo and Juliet song and I'll do that one.
what's the right way to spell? Is it crystal like that?
Yeah, say it.
Hate spelling it wrong, but I'm kind of hey, millisopods, and more with me. That the first you did it right, and hey, it's okay. I agree too, kind of.
I do that. I interrupt you all the time, don't I?
That was just a love tap. That's
Stinky, thanks for joining in.
That's just a love tap.
Oh, very cool. Thanks for letting us know.
Thank you
Okay.
for telling me.
No, unless she sings, I'm not dancing. So that's the deal, Frank. Unless she sings, I'm
Fine.
And if we do a little song, I'll dance, and then we're going to call it a night.
Which one do you want to do? Want me to sing?
Romeo and Juliet.
No.
Then I'm not dancing.
Then we're not supposed to sing love songs on the internet.
No, there's no rules. I read the rule book. I did not see the rules about not singing love songs. Was that? Wait a second. Rachel, right? Was that Rachel? That's Rachel. Is it Rachel? Is it Rochelle? Maybe I've been saying it wrong.
Okay, fine. I'll sing that. Wait. Who wants me to dance?
You dance.
Oh, no, I'm not dancing.
Okay, hurry up. Let's do it.
Okay, fine. Is this all in my head? He pulled out a ring and said, marry me, Juliet. You never have to be alone. I love you, and that's all I really know.
Bye, folks.